To all my black entrepreneurs, we gotta do better, y'all. So tune in to the EntrepreNUBIANS Podcast, where we help build better black businesses.
Hey. Welcome to the EntrepreNUBIANS Podcast. This is the after show with me, your girl, Tiffany Nicole, the CEO, and Lash Trace.
What up, ladies and gentlemen?
Yes. And we just had a fantastic time with Miss Shawna K. Perez-Clark.
Did we? She was very informative.
Yes.
On the world of nonprofit organizations.
Man.
And she's had hers for 10 years. So.
And I met her when she basically first started it. It's like amazing because nonprofits are a totally different beast.
Yeah.
Totally different beast.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people say, oh, I'm going to get a nonprofit because they think about the tax exemption part of it. Mm-hmm. And that is like the best part of it. But there's so much tax related money that got to be put into it to make it work.
You said that is the best part of it?
Being tax exempt?
Yeah.
Man, listen, I use that tax exempt Gather Dreams number, EIN number, for all kinds of stuff. I would go get copies made. I would get pamphlets, whatever I needed. Mm-hmm. Any kind of, from Staples, from the campus copy center on Penn's, University of Penn's campus.
Right.
Oh, nonprofit status? Yes, I am. Here's my number. What? That tax adds up. Yeah. It adds up. So, yeah, that's like one of the best parts. But It's a lot involved in just, first of all, just getting a nonprofit, going through paperwork to get it set up. Mm-hmm. And then just running it. It's a lot.
I commend her. When you started Gather Dreams, mm-hmm. how long it took to get your nonprofit status.
Yes.
It was at least a year that we were waiting to hear back to mm-hmm. find out whether or not.
Yep. Because it steps to it. So you just can't say I'm going to get a nonprofit.
Right.
You have to become incorporated first. That's one other step before you can even submit your stuff. So you got to send information to the state, to the Office of Treasury, I believe it is, and have them to go skim through all your stuff and everything else. Make sure they say yay or nay, and of course they always find something wrong.
What do they have to look through? What stuff are
paperwork? You got to send them. You have to send them. It's an Articles of Incorporation application, mm-hmm. with your fee, whatever your state charges you to do. Mm-hmm. They have to go through it and make sure you answer the questions right. And sometimes the questions seem simple, but the answers they're looking for are not simple.
Right.
And that's the issue.
And you don't know what they're looking for.
Exactly. So you're trying to figure it out, and then you send it off. Sometimes it comes back with no problem. Other times it comes back, they want you to change all kinds of stuff. So that has to get approved.
But you can make changes and resubmit.
Oh, yeah. And you don't have to pay again. You pay one time, that's it.
Okay.
And then when you resubmit, like, it's just like a continuation.
At least that's how it is in Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Okay.
So, that gets done. And then when you get that back, then you have to gather all of your nonprofit information, such as the application, such as the operating agreement, such as any appendixes. It's a lot. Yeah. Like, I took a whole class.
Yeah.
I took a whole class on how to fill, because people charge so much to fill the paperwork out. I'm like, I'm not paying that much. I don't have that much to pay. So let me figure out how to do it. I took a class at Mount Airy Learning Tree for $64. It was 4 weeks long, 1 day a week. And we went through that application question by question. And the answers to the questions on the application are the same, no matter what your nonprofit's going to do. It's one question that's different for everybody. And that's who your business is going to serve and how you're going to serve them.
Okay.
That's it. Everything else is exactly the same.
Right.
It's like a little secret that y'all might not have known. But every single question is answered the same for every single nonprofit except one question on that 16-page document.
See, we give y'all all the secrets on that.
Because we done been through it. We done been through it. Craziness.
But yeah, that's a lot to know, because I'm sure a lot of people do it for the wrong reasons.
Oh, yeah.
So the state and the city have to make sure they're weeding out the nonsense.
And that's why it takes longer.
Yeah. It's definitely a process. Mm-hmm. But it's a process that's worth it. I mean, it's not going to be easy going through the steps to become tax exempt.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? They're not going to make that easy for you to.
They want their money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's something we went through. Like I said, it took like a year for that nonprofit status to come through.
Yep.
And a good thing we had the patience to wait, and we took it seriously. We were doing any and everything to make this nonprofit happen. Gather Dreams Inc. was the name of it. Shout out to Gather Dreams. Yes. Shout out to Miami Learning Tree, because had you not been able to take that $64 course, you might not have filled this application out right.
Nope, I wouldn't have.
It might have caused more delay, which would have been another headache, and you might have tapped out.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that's exactly why we do this podcast, to help people and encourage them to understand and believe that, there's hoops, hurdles, obstacles, roadblocks, everything in your way, but the path is still there.
You just got to clear it out.
Yeah, you just got to move the obstacles out the way, or learn how to get around them. The path is still there, and the goal is still at the end of the path.
Yeah.
So we just got to help each other get through these obstacles. But shout out to Shawna's house.
Yes.
Her nomination for the Business Grammys of Philadelphia.
Yeah, that's major.
Oh my God,
that's major. Because I remember when Gather Dreams was nominated. We were nominated for the best nonprofit in the Northeast, and we won.
Really?
Yep.
I'm saying really, like I don't.
Like but yes, but yeah, we won. It's a good feeling, because it makes you feel like you're doing something right.
Yeah.
Like, even though you know deep down in your heart,
it lets you know you're doing
something right. But to be recognized by your peers is a very good feeling.
Yeah.
When you're doing something like that, because nonprofits can be a very thankless job.
Yes.
Very thankless.
Yes. Shawna said the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I didn't look at it that way, but it is. But once we got into it, and I was a lot more behind the scenes, but I could totally see how thankless of a job it was.
And
so yeah,
you're like, when you're first starting out, you're not getting paid. Like, I still had a full-time job.
Right.
And the full-time job was funding Gather Dreams. Right. Because it was so hard to get funding, because I couldn't get the volunteers to cooperate once they became volunteers. So it was.
They volunteered to not cooperate.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like. And it was like the time frame that it took to become a volunteer was months. Right. We just didn't say, oh, you want to be a volunteer? Sure. No, they went through a criminal background check, child abuse background check. We call references. We call jobs. Like, a lot of stuff went into saying, yes, you can be a volunteer. Right. So why would you go through all this stuff and then decide you're just going to ghost your kid? Right. That doesn't make sense. Like,
and the kids are growing up with these mentors, and they look up to them.
Yes.
So the actions that these mentors have, or the actions that they take, are being taken note of by these children.
And we dealt with girls who were in foster care from 6 to 21. There's a plethora of issues that are already there. So I didn't want to add on to that and have mentors not showing up for them. Right. That was the worst feeling. So anyway, that's my soapbox for that. But back to Shawna. I liked her ninja business, because we never heard anybody talk about a thought being ninja business. No. And that was really, really good for her to say that, because we all have those self-defeating thoughts. And it was good to hear her say how she had to basically drag herself out of that. Because if she didn't, Shawna's house would have just gone away. Yeah. Yep. That was crazy.
Yep. She also talked about ninja business that she dodged, yeah. I'll say. And what did she mention?
She's just always having to be, wanting to be at every interview, wanting to be in every networking event, wanting to be everywhere she can be seen, but she was going places that weren't conducive to what she was trying to do. Right. Like, she wasn't like, why am I going to show up and do an interview for Shade Room? That's not my audience. Right. That type thing. So, and everybody wants to, come be on my show, but is it really for you or is it for them? Right. That's why we kind of pride ourselves on this show. When you come on this show, it's for you and the people who are trying to be like you and help other business owners do better in what they do. So I think that's important, to be able to weed out different avenues of media not to be on, because not all media is good media.
Yeah.
despite what they say.
you gotta know who you are and where your message belongs
And who your tribe is.
Yep.
Because everybody has a tribe. Because everything is not for everybody, which is fine.
You got to know where your message belongs and where your message doesn't belong. Because we're not going to interview on somebody's podcast that interviews strippers.
Exactly.
We are an entrepreneur-based business podcast. So our interviews, whether we're interviewing somebody or being interviewed, are going to be about business or some entrepreneurial endeavor.
Yep.
With black people.
Yes, that's how it should be. That's our tribe.
That's what we do.
Yeah, so it's cool.
So yeah, Shawna, and she mentioned this, but y'all can follow her everywhere on all the socials at Shawna's House.
Yes.
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. Everywhere she is Shawna's House.
Yep, and go to her website. Her website just got revamped for her 10-year anniversary. So go check out her website. And if you guys want to be a volunteer, help these kids. Yep. Like, these kids going to be taking care of us one day, y'all. We got to get it together. Because let me tell you, as of right now, I'm a little worried.
A little?
Well, I try to be nice about it, but yeah, I'm worried because these kids gonna be the ones taking care of us, and we gotta get them on the straight and narrow. And what Shawna provides can get them on the straight and narrow.
Yep.
So if you know any kids that need this service, check her out. If you want to be a volunteer, check her out.
What's her website again?
Period. It's shawnashouse.org.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, please reach out to her.
No apostrophe.
Yes.
And wait, it was another jewel you just mentioned. Something else you just said. What was the last thing you just said?
About people volunteering and people if they know any kids that need the service.
Oh, no, I forgot. It was something else you said that brought up another jewel that I wanted to mention, but I didn't want to cut you off.
Okay.
So of course I forgot it. I should have wrote it down.
You should have wrote it down. Yeah.
But I'll keep that in mind for next time. I'll write down the jewels that I come up with to say. Yep. I'm trying to jog my memory right now while I'm talking, but it ain't working.
It's not happening.
Anyway,
so it was a great interview with Shawna. I appreciate her coming. She was a different type of guest because, like I said, nonprofits they're different. Take a different kind of person to be able to run a successful nonprofit, and I can just leave it at that.
Yes. So, thanks again, Shawna's House. What else did I want to mention? I think that's it, Tiff.
I think that's it.
Yeah, that was.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, guys.
Oh,
I was out. What happened?
I'm sorry. Gathered Dreams. Are you or?
I don't know.
Okay.
Because I don't know only because of what happened before, and I have to figure out a way to wrangle the volunteers.
Right. And
make it as streamlined as possible where it's not stressing me out because I don't want to be in it for the stress. I want to be in it for the good. And I don't mind a little bit of stress, but it was extremely, extremely stressful because I was concerned about the girls.
Right.
And their well-being and these mentors not showing up and these kids having to deal with it. And it wasn't right. So if it comes back, it has to come back right.
Right. All right. Well, sounds good. I remember what I wanted to say now.
Oh, here we go.
You said she revamped her website for her 10th anniversary.
Yes.
That was another jewel. That was another tip that our listeners can take. Revamp your websites. People...
it's like a grand opening.
Yeah, a lot of us have old websites. Your website is your digital storefront. It is your online store. Give it a new facelift. Give it some curb appeal. Redo it. It's a new year. It's 2022. Revamp it. It's another thing that you can promote, that you can announce, that you can
be proud of.
Big up.
Yeah.
Be proud of. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that. Okay. Revamp your websites.
Yep.
So yeah, that's it, y'all.
All right.
And we'll see y'all next time on the EntrepreNUBIANS Podcast. I'm looking at both cameras, so both of y'all hear me. You and you. I say, y'all, we out. I'm Last Trace.
Who am I?
I don't know who she is.
I'm Tiffany Nicole.
Yeah, she's somebody.
I'm somebody. I am somebody. All right, guys, we're out of here.
All right.